Hello again. I am part 2 of working on the new big garden, and basically it's going to be a lot of what I had in the first video. I'm going to be putting lots of pocket screw holes in some boards using my Kreg jig, and then carrying the boards around to the side of the house and starting to put it together. So I'm going to just very short video for here part 2 because it's a lot of the same, but I'm going to try to get you a few pictures and I'll string it together into a video. So let me turn my camera around. So here you see I've got going to be doing quite a few 8-foot boards today, trying to get everything with the holes so that then as I have time over the next few weekends I can take a few boards out, put them together. So again, my strategy for when I'm going to be stacking 2 boards on top of each other is I'm putting pocket holes kind of spaced out, probably about around 5 on each board, but then on the board that's going also next to it, I'll put the holes in a slightly different spot so they don't run into each other, but that way I can put a total of 3 or 4 on each one, making sure I've got something closest to the edge and a couple also in the center area, and that should give it a good sturdy connection to keep them together. Well, basically we've gotten almost one of the really long beds put together. We when I left this off in part 1, I had this side and that end, and we've gotten the corner posts on here. We've got the end pieces, we've got all of the long pieces here done and put together. Now we're just adding a couple pocket holes to the 2x4 that will go on this corner, and then we'll connect it, and then this bed will be together. I may, in thinking about how I'm going to get the dirt in here, depending on what I'm going to use to move it from the pile when it gets delivered over to this part of the yard, I may take this end, a couple pieces off, and that way I can load up my Gorilla Cart, which has sort of like a dump truck feature, and I'll back it in here and dump the loads of dirt as I bring it around. We'll see. I may have a friend with something with a little bucket on it, on like a small lawn tractor, to move the dirt instead. But I'm feeling good. We've got one bed just about taken care of. We'll be building another bed just like this that will go over here, and then 2 beds will go in the middle that will have some open space in between. Those beds will be a little shorter and wider because I'll be able to access from 3 sides. These beds, there's going to be fencing go all the way around the edge outside because of deer, but other than getting this corner post and maybe scooting this down a little bit away from this flower bed so that I can get the lawnmower around, that's really the only other thing that'll need to happen with this guy until we're ready to put in the dirt. Oh, I take it back. I am going to, for stability purposes and also for around the outside edge for fencing, I'm going to add a 2x4 where these 2 sets of boards come together to add a little stability and also to give me a post to attach fencing to. I may, once I start putting the fencing on, add a couple more uprights on that outside piece, and then on the inside piece I'll put a 2x4, but it's going to only be as tall as these 2 boards on top of each other, and then I'll add a shelf across here with just like a 1x4. And then I think, because this is such a long span and dirt can push over time, I think I'm going to add like a structural, a couple of 2x4s, one here across connecting the 2 sides, in the middle, and then over here. And I think that will just give this a little extra structure. I may do a little research, or if anybody has any suggestions that maybe I need to put the 2x4 up a little bit, I could, because it'll get covered by the dirt and roots will just go around them. It won't be a big deal. But other than that, this bed's looking good. I'm getting excited to see this come together. Thanks for joining me here today in Aunt Susan's garden as we work on part 2 of building a big new garden.